What's your name? Hamish. Nice to meet you. Hi, guys.
So was there ever a time that you felt that you failed?
I decided to step down from the company I co-founded 5 years earlier, Made.com. I had started a company when I was relatively young. My kids were like 3 and 5. We were lucky enough to have a business that took off and grew extremely fast. But obviously that comes with a huge amount of stress. The most difficult part is realizing that I couldn't really help myself anymore. I didn't have the resources to support myself in this transition. I used everything I had to build that business, raise the children, look after everything else. My family life, I had actually suffered a lot, so much so that my husband and I decided to separate. I used to come home at night and look at my empty house and have to go again because I couldn't really sustain the idea of being on my own and being with my thoughts. I felt absolutely exhausted.
So what happened next?
So I decided to get some help, and I decided to go to a wellness clinic that was recommended to me, which was also a very big challenge for me internally, because as an entrepreneur, the reason you go after these kind of careers is because you don't need anyone. So having to accept that actually the help has to come from somewhere else was the difficult part, but once I did, it kind of rebuilt me from the ground, where through their therapy and support, I eventually built resources again and was able to function.
So looking back, would you still define that as a failure?
No, I think I would call it reset. A time to really reconsider and think about myself from the inside out. And especially, I would say, as an entrepreneur, it's very counterintuitive to ask for help and receive help. This reset time allowed me to move away from feeding the ego to actually feeding the soul. So this was a really big realization.
Oh, it's upside down. Reset.